Imagine this for a moment. You wake up one morning, stretch your arms, and realize your knees ache a little more than they used to. Your energy isn't what it once was, and even though you're eating what you thought was a healthy diet, you still feel like your body is slowing down. For so many of us over the age of 50, this isn't just imagination, it's daily life. Maybe you've noticed muscle loss creeping in, the scale tipping in the wrong direction, or your doctor reminding you that your protein intake isn't quite where it should be. It's frustrating because food feels like something you've been doing right your entire life, and suddenly it feels like you're playing catch up with your own body. And so the question rises, what should you actually be eating to nourish your body at this stage of life? Should you stick with eggs, the humble kitchen staple you've loved for years, or is fish and meat still the gold standard for senior nutrition? Today, we're going to explore that question deeply because the truth is, after 50, food is not just fuel, it's medicine, it's strength. It's what keeps us moving, thinking, and living fully. Let's start with eggs because let's be honest, they're the easiest, most accessible, and often the most comforting option. Eggs are a powerhouse of nutrition, and for seniors, they are like nature's multivitamin packed into a simple shell. Each egg contains high-quality protein, about 6 to 7 grams, and what makes this protein so special is the balance of essential amino acids. These amino acids are like the building blocks your muscles are crying out for, especially as we age. You see, after 50, something called sarcopenia, the natural loss of muscle mass, begins to speed up. Without enough high-quality protein, your body can't keep up with the demand to repair and maintain muscle tissue. Eggs also come with choline, which supports brain function, and lutein and zeaxanthin, which help protect our eyes from age-related decline. Now, I've often heard seniors worry about cholesterol in eggs. Maybe you've heard it too, or maybe your doctor once told you to cut back. But modern science has shifted dramatically. Egg cholesterol doesn't impact blood cholesterol the way we once thought. In fact, for most people, eating eggs regularly can be part of a heart-healthy diet. That's not just science on paper, it's something I've lived personally. I used to limit myself to 2 eggs a week out of fear, and I felt constantly tired, constantly hungry. When I reintroduced eggs daily, suddenly my energy improved and my morning hunger was satisfied in a way cereal or toast never managed. But then comes the question, how do eggs stack up against fish, especially fatty fish like salmon or sardines, which doctors and nutritionists love to recommend? Fish, without doubt, brings unique gifts to the table. The protein is lean, clean, and also complete, with around 20 grams in a modest serving. And while eggs contain some omega-3s, fish is the true champion of this nutrient. Omega-3 fatty acids are not just good fats, they are anti-inflammatory warriors, protecting your heart, nourishing your brain, and even easing joint pain. For seniors dealing with arthritis, memory decline, or cardiovascular concerns, omega-3s can feel like a lifeline. I've spoken to countless older adults who started adding salmon or sardines into their weekly meals and noticed their joints felt looser, their minds clearer, and even their mood more stable. Now, there's a catch. Fish isn't always as easy or affordable as eggs. Not everyone enjoys the taste, not everyone can afford fresh salmon twice a week, and sometimes concerns about mercury or sustainability make people hesitate. That's why eggs remain a practical, dependable daily option, while fish can be the nutrient-rich boost when you can access it. And what about meat? For many of us, meat has been the centerpiece of every meal since childhood. A juicy steak, a Sunday roast, or a piece of grilled chicken, meat is ingrained in our culture. Meat, particularly lean cuts of beef, chicken, or turkey, provides abundant protein, iron, zinc, and B vitamins, all of which are critical for maintaining strength, immunity, and energy levels as we age. Iron helps prevent anemia, zinc supports wound healing and immunity, and B12, often found in animal products, is essential for brain health and nerve function. These are no small things when you're trying to maintain independence and vitality past 50. But here's the complication. Meat, especially red and processed meat, can be a double-edged sword. Too much can increase inflammation, raise the risk of heart disease, and place strain on the digestive system. Many seniors I know complain that meat feels heavier on their stomach now compared to when they were younger, leading to indigestion or sluggishness. So while meat offers incredible nutrients, moderation and balance become the name of the game as we grow older. So here we are, eggs, fish, and meat, all powerful, all beneficial, but each with their own role in a balanced diet. The real answer isn't to choose one and discard the others, but to learn how to use each in harmony. Think of eggs as your daily anchor, a steady and affordable source of protein and micronutrients that fit effortlessly into breakfast, lunch, or even dinner. Think of fish as your therapeutic food, a 2 to 3 times a week addition that provides omega 3s and a unique lift for your heart and brain. And think of meat as your strength builder, something to include, but with mindfulness, focusing on lean cuts, smaller portions, and less frequency than you might have in your 20s or 30s. When you balance them, you get the best of all worlds: muscle support from eggs, heart and brain nourishment from fish, and iron and B vitamins from meat. But let's bring this down to real life, because science only matters if you can actually apply it to your plate. For breakfast, imagine scrambling 2 eggs with spinach and mushrooms. That's not just delicious, it's delivering protein, choline, and antioxidants before you even step out the door. Add a slice of whole grain toast, and you've got a complete meal that fuels your morning walk. At lunch, maybe you prepare a tuna or salad, rich in omega 3s, paired with colorful vegetables. For dinner, you might choose a smaller portion of grilled chicken breast or lean beef, served with roasted vegetables and a side of quinoa. Suddenly, you've created a rotation where eggs, fish, and meat each play their role without overwhelming your diet. This isn't restrictive, it's empowering, because it's about variety and balance, not rules and fear. Now, here's where personal reflection comes in, and I'd love for you to think about your own habits. Do you lean too heavily on one source of protein? Do you find yourself skipping protein altogether at meals because it feels like too much effort? If that's you, you're not alone. Many seniors I talk to realize they eat more bread, pasta, or fruit during the day and very little protein, and then wonder why they feel weak, hungry, or fatigued. If you've noticed that, let me know in the comments. I want to hear your story. And don't forget, hitting that subscribe button means you'll keep getting more of these practical, science-backed tips to make your later years healthier and stronger. One thing I've learned, and maybe you'll agree, is that food in our 50s, 60s, and beyond is no longer about indulgence or restriction. It's about strategy. When I was younger, I thought of meals as comfort or pleasure. Now I still enjoy them, but I also see them as tools. Tools to keep my brain sharp enough to remember the names of my grandchildren. Tools to keep my legs strong enough to climb the stairs. Tools to keep my heart beating with steady rhythm. And the beauty is, eggs, fish, and meat are some of the most effective tools we have, right there in our kitchens. Of course, it's not just what you eat, but how much and how often. Studies suggest seniors benefit from distributing protein evenly across meals instead of cramming it all into dinner. That means at breakfast aren't just convenient, they're strategic. That means fish at lunch, instead of always relying on a sandwich, could make a noticeable difference in your mental clarity. And a smaller portion of meat at dinner ensures your muscles are fed while your digestion isn't overwhelmed. This shift in thinking, from large portions to balanced timing, can transform how you feel day by day. Now, I want to acknowledge something important. Food choices are personal. Not everyone likes fish, not everyone can afford grass-fed beef, not everyone digests eggs the same way. The goal isn't perfection, it's awareness and adjustment. If you can't eat fish often, maybe consider omega-3 enriched eggs. If meat feels heavy, focus more on eggs and fish or smaller servings of poultry. If cholesterol numbers concern you, talk with your doctor, but remember that eggs in moderation are usually safe. The key is adapting these protein sources to your unique body, budget, and preferences. And let me share one more story. A gentleman I met, 72 years old, told me he hadn't eaten eggs for 20 years because his doctor once warned him off them. He lived on toast, cereal, and processed meats, and struggled with energy crashes and constant cravings. When he reintroduced eggs and balanced them with occasional fish and lean meats, his energy skyrocketed, his weight stabilized, and for the first time in years, he said he felt alive again. That's the power of these simple foods when used wisely. So if you take one message from today, let it be this: don't underestimate the humble egg, don't overlook the richness of fish, and don't fear meat when consumed with balance. Each plays a role, each can serve your health, and together they can create a foundation of nutrition strong enough to carry you through your 50s, 60s, 70s, and beyond with vitality. If you found this message valuable, share it with someone you love who might need the reminder. And let me know in the comments, what's your favorite way to enjoy eggs, fish, or meat? Maybe your recipe or habit can inspire someone else in this community. Don't forget to subscribe because we're building a space where aging is not about decline, but about strength, wisdom, and health. At the end of the day, food is more than what's on your plate. It's the story of how you live your life. And you, right now, have the power to write a new chapter filled with energy, resilience, and joy. So crack that egg, savor that fish, enjoy that lean meat, and know that every bite is an investment in the life you still have so much left to live.